Good morning students. In today's class we are going to see the smart grid functions and power optimization. So we will see the block diagram of the smart grid functions. So smart grid will have the certain functions like smart grid asset monitoring, QoS data collection and analysis, smart lighting, smart building and energy management, remote infrastructure maintenance, fault detection, smart metering solution. So here first we will see what is meant by a smart grid, and then we will go on what are all the different functions of smart grid. So in today's grid, when it is making it to operate it as a vertical structure, comprises of a smart grid consists of generation, transmission and distribution with certain controls, communication, and we'll have certain devices to monitor the operation in order to achieve the system performance, reliability and efficiency. So whatever grid we are designing at present, it will handle the uncertainties. Uncertainties in the sense any disturbance that are caused due to the environmental change, any disturbances that are caused when you are transferring the power. So all these things will be handled in case of the design of your smart grid. Then here it will be accommodating the renewables. Because of the renewable energy integrated with the non-renewable energy, there may be a synchronization issue, there may be a grid partitioning issue, or there may be a grid connection issue when you are integrating the resources. So accommodating the renewable resources. Then power optimization, optimizing your power for while transferring the capabilities of your transmission and distribution. It is going to be the important aspect, and how you are going to manage and resolve all the unpredictable events and uncertainties in operation while planning more aggressively. So all these points needs to be taken care when you are addressing the smart grid functions. So here we have a smart grid asset monitoring. So smart grid in the sense it is an integration of your renewable energy resources with the conventional source. When you integrate it, you have to monitor the operational data under real time environment, that is under working environment we need to monitor it. So for this we need the data has to be collected from time to time, and it has to be recorded. Once it is recorded, the recorded data can be kept as a base for asset management. Asset management in the sense so far from the design till implementation, what are all the different aspects of cost that has been consumed in order to implement it. All these has to be calculated, and based on that we can plan the future asset techniques, future asset management technique, or future asset calculations can be done if we wanted to upgrade the power from present power rating to the future power rating. Suppose if in present power rating, if the smart grid is capable of giving 500 kilowatt, then in order to increase it to 1 megawatt, what asset is required from the present asset management technique. So it could be done with the already recorded real time data. Next, QoS data collection analytics, that is the quality of system data collection and analytics. This could be done from the DSO, that is data system operator. From the data system operator at various zone, at various nodal point, at various substation, whatever data it is collected, that is extracted in the form of Excel, and it will be analyzed to extract in order to implement the expansion of your solar panel, or in order to expand the power optimization technique. So for all these things you can use the quality of system, that is QoS data collection and analytics. Next one, smart metering solution. Smart metering solution in the sense at each and every point of the node we need to connect a meter so that the data recorded from the real time environment can be captured, and it could be used for the future use. Next is your fault detection. Fault detection, not only it will reflect onto the fault what is happening physically with respect to the equipment, and if anything happens with respect to power theft, or if anything happens with respect to other non-linearities, that will also be deducted in case of smart grid, because we have all provisions to uh, make that smart grid to work in all these aspects. Next, remote infrastructure maintenance. In case if nobody is available in the present grid, that is smart grid has been installed at one place, if no one is there to have a proper maintenance, then remote infrastructure maintenance can happen. It means that from one place we can control what is the amount of power that could be distributed to the customer, or what is the amount of power that could be distributed to the industry. All these things can happen from the remote infrastructure maintenance, because customer, EV person, industrial customer, commercial customer, so all these persons are one of the stakeholders when we are implementing the smart grid. The other function is smart building and energy management. Energy management, it is one of your important aspect, and this could happen with the help of the energy storage element. So once the energy storage system is incorporated, and we need to have a proper communication when you are transmitting the power from source side to the load side. So if it happens, how exactly we are going to communicate from source side to the load side with a switching or plug in and plug off, plug in and out of the energy delivering. Next is your smart lighting. It is used in commercial, it is used for commercial appliances. Next one, smart grid solution to optimize the delivery, energy delivery. Power optimization is one of the important aspect in case of your smart grid. So power optimization, in the sense, in all aspects it has to be constant when you are delivering it to the load. Not only with respect to the power, with respect to cost also it has to fulfill. So what we can do is, you have a grid. So one is your DC grid, another one is your AC grid. Smart grid is nothing but integrating your renewable energy source with your conventional source. So renewable energy source, some source will give a DC power, and that will connected to the DC grid. Wherever AC power is available, that will be connected on to your AC grid, and we will have a common coupling point, that is point of common coupling. When it is delivering a power, when it is transmitting the power, a better power optimization has to be there, because the person who is going to utilize the load, they should also get it satisfied with the available energy. The cost should be reasonable. So optimized energy needs to be delivered to the customer. So here we are having a microgrid controller. This microgrid controller, we have a microgrid controller. In addition with the microgrid controller, we have a energy market data. So energy market data, in the sense, what is the amount of data that is required by the customer, and how much we are transmitting to the customer. It is just like a two-way communication. One good example is from EB. If we are asking for a single phase supply, he will connect only a single phase supply, and according to that we will be paying the electricity bill. Suppose if I wanted to have an upgradation of my power, then in case of your smart grid, the customer can request the legacy people, that is the government people who have installed the smart grid, and from them they can ask for the additional power required for them. So energy market data, it is a both way, two-way communication. And microgrid, here you have a solar. This is nothing but your renewable energy source, and this is your normal utility grid. Normal utility grid means power generated by means of thermal, nuclear, hydro, like that, whatever conventional source, power generated due to conventional source. And power due to non-conventional sources is your weather data, that is depending upon the weather, like wind or solar, what is the amount of power generated, that is both the power are integrated in the grid so as to supply power to the loads. The different types of loads are commercial and industrial, residential, and here you have a generator. When both your utility grid and the renewable grid along with the storage is not working, that time we can make use of the generator to supply power to all these loads, and you have one more renewable, that is wind. It generates a kinetic energy, and that kinetic energy is converted into an electrical energy by means of an alternator. We have a storage system. The storage system will store the amount of power generated from the solar. So if any of a DC voltage is coming in the DC grid, that particular amount of power will get stored. Here energy management technique should also be planned properly in order to make the system optimized. And one more load what we are going to use, a electric vehicle. Here you have a plug in and out system. So when the charge is completely down in case of your electric vehicle, there is a plug in, so they can plug in into the grid, and the battery in this EV vehicle will get charged. So in order to have a power optimization, energy management technique is important, and handling your uncertainty, power theft, everything, it has to be optimized. So in the next class, we'll see what are all the different functions. Here if you see here, the smart grid architectural design. So in case of your architectural design, how you are going to plan the system for generation, distribution, and transmitting. So electric grid operating with a vertical structure consisting of generation, transmission, and distribution, with the additional support controls and devices so as to maintain the reliability, stability, and efficiency. Thank you, students.